Hey there guys, it's the Millard here with another WorldOfTanksTutor.com video. I recently put out a video that dealt with what tanks you should be using for the free Is-6 contest challenge. If you haven't seen that, click the link in the center of your screen. Go do that if you want a free Is-6. Now for those of you who have seen it and you saw my tank recommendations on what you should drive, hopefully you bought some and started earning your way to that tank. The trick is, not everyone is probably aware of what modules you ought to be running on these tanks, and they are Hellcat M6, Su-100, KV-2, KV-1S, T-34-85, Cromwell, ARL-44, basically all the VKs for Germany, the Nashorn, Japan, well frankly it's the only one that we'll have an option at, usually the Tier 6 Japan, and China is the Type 58. Now those are all great tanks, but modules really do make a difference, even more than cruise skill once you hit 100%. Especially even with 6th Sense, guys. I've done some no 6th Sense challenges in Tier 6 and it's totally viable, so if you're feeling all upset because you don't have 6th Sense, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Okay, I said modules are a big deal, but how am I recommending we kit these tanks? Well, we're going to go through them pretty quick. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time here. Hellcat and M6. Hellcat's going to be kitted with binocs, camo net, and rammer. Going to be able to play a nice passive high camo playstyle with getting your DPM up just a little bit higher. M6, we're going to be running rammer, GLD, in the third slot. It's up to you. I have enjoyed running optics on it at times, but I'm an optics fiend. Throw on vents if you just want to keep it simple stupid. Okay, switching to Russia, we now have Su-100, KV-2, 1S, T-34-85, etc. Su-100 is going to be pretty much the same gig as the Hellcat. Camo net, rammer, GLD, skip the binocs, you have bad base view range. KV-1S is going to be GLD, rammer, and the last slot once again is up to you. Probably want to be running vents. KV-2, rammer, GLD, vents. You got to get that reload down a little bit if you can. T-34-85 actually gives us a little bit more of an option here. Base view range is 360, not bad at all per tier. I would recommend, let's look at this 85. Pretty solid 85. I like it. I'd recommend rammer, GLD, and optics. A little bit more spotting ability with this tank. The aim time is 2.3. It's on the bridge of the GLD needed. I don't think there's another good module we can throw on this, unfortunately. Okay, British line. Let's see, is there anything else here on the Russians? Not really. If you kit a T-150 or something like that, just kit it like a 1S. Rammer, GLD, and vents. Cromwell. The Chaos tank. What a beautiful little high-speed trollmobile. Aim time's 2.3. Good gun. Cromwell's going to be a little bit low-zine depending on how your playstyle. I'm recommending rammer and optics. If you want to throw vents in on the third slot, that's totally fine. If you want to throw something else in, it doesn't really matter. But make sure you get rammer and optics. You're so fast, you want to be able to maximize the spotting. French line is ARL-44. That's going to be the same way as most of these heavies. Rammer, GLD. Third slot on the RL, I would probably pick a toolbox if you have one laying around. It's got huge tracks, and I found when playing it, I lost my tracks a lot, which was not particularly fun. Alright, the VK line. Rammer, GLD, depending on aim time, it's going to be a little bit tank specific here. Let's take a quick peek at we'll just break down the tanks as we go here. VK 3001 gets a good 88. Aim time is 2.3, so probably just going to flip the GLD onto all these German 88s. Rammers, of course, to optimize our rate of fire and DPM. Now that third slot, as you'll notice, the third slot's kind of where it comes down to play style. I would not put optics on these German VKs, and the reason is your camo is pretty bad. You don't really want to be spotting. You're also big, boxy, and prone to fires. So for these, the VKP 3601, 3002, maybe you picked up a 3001D, etc. You're going to be wanting to run rammer, GLD, and vents. Okay, just throw the vents on. That's what you want to do. Nashorn is going to be quite similar to some of these other builds. GLD is not needed though, which is great. It gives us a little bit more flexibility. So we can flip on there. No vents, unfortunately, because it's open topped. Rammer, camo net, And Binox. Camo value is not bad, and suddenly we've maximized it by getting to throw those extra modules on. Pretty typical for a TD. Japan, going to be a pretty standard setup. Going to be running either vents or optics in the third slot, and then a rammer or GLD in the first two slots. Unfortunately, can't select it here and show us. Chinese for the Type 58, this tank that I'm not a super fan of. Oh boy. I actually, this may surprise you, recommend optics for the Type 58. The tank's gun is pretty bad. You're still going to be running a rammer and GLD, but its stats are not good enough to feel the optimization is worth it, whereas the view range at 370 is actually pretty solid. So go ahead and run rammer, optics, GLD on the Type 58. Alright guys, there are all the tanks that I referenced in the first video I did just a little while ago. And here are all the modules that I recommend as well. Now, if there are modules that you really feel like should have been mentioned, or you would recommend to folks, like maybe you feel like a heavy spall liner is a great meta on an M6 or something, whatever, hey, let us know in the comments. This is all about helping folks, giving them more information, helping them have more fun at tanks. So let me know in the comments. Let them know if you liked the video. Give it a +1 or a share. Hope it was helpful. Happy tanking and good luck getting an IS-6. Ciao.